Are feed per tooth and chip load different terms with the same meaning? No, they are not. If you are not exactly sure what's the difference between them, you are in the right place. Hey there, Erez here from the Machining Doctor website, and in this short video I will break it down for you in an easy to understand way. Be sure to stick until the end where I will share a tip how to overcome this in the most simple and easy way. So without further ado, let's join Eric for the explanations.
Hello everybody, let's get right into the matter. In milling, feed per tooth, also known as FC, is the linear distance traveled by a milling cutter during one full spindle rotation, divided by the number of teeth on the cutter. Typically, we have information on the spindle speed and table feed. In such a case, it can be calculated by dividing the table feed by the product of the spindle speed and the number of teeth. FC equals VF divided by N times Z. The chip load refers to the maximum width of the chip that each tooth of a milling cutter removes from the material as it passes through it. In practical terms, it is the load that the operation exerts on the cutting edge, hence, the name, chip load.
Sorry to interrupt, but I have a tiny favor to ask. Do you appreciate what we are doing for you here on the Machining Doctor? Well, now it's your time to give something back. Give us a like or leave a comment. These small actions really help to push the videos to even more people. Thank you.
So, what is the confusion? In the most common scenario, when using a 90-degree milling cutter with a radial depth of cut larger than the cutter radius, the chip load is equal exactly to the feed per tooth. But they are not the same in other cutter geometries. In a ball nose and chamfer cutters, or when the radial depth is smaller than the radius, the chip load is always smaller than the feed per tooth. And why does it matter? Milling cutter suppliers provide in their catalogs the chip load of each cutter. They use chip load because it lets them list a single value as the recommended feed. Otherwise, they would need to give each cutter different feed recommendations, depending on the depth and width of the cut. Some users simply take the chip load and use it as the recommended feed. They are okay if they use a 90-degree tool and machine at a radial depth larger than the radius. In all other cases, they are running the cutter in lower feeds than recommended, resulting in a slower cycle time and higher production cost. A power user will calculate the feed per tooth that gives the desired chip load for his specific case. The difference can be huge. To better understand, let's look at a practical example. The recommended chip load for a half-inch end mill is 0.002 IPT, 0.05 millimeters. By the way, I used the chip load calculator on the Machining Doctor website to obtain it, and I will leave a link to it in the description. Now, let us suppose that in our first pass, the cut width is a 1/4 inch, 6.35 millimeters. In this case, the feed per tooth equals exactly the chip load. But on the second pass, the cut width is 1/8, 3.17 millimeters. We can increase the feed per tooth by 20% and maintain the same chip load as before. This is the formula that I use to get this factor, and it is called the radial chip thinning factor. Chip thinning is a separate topic that will get its dedicated video. I will also leave a link in the description to the relevant resources. Remember that things get more complicated when dealing with ball nose, chamfer, and other special shape cutters. We will explain all of this in the dedicated chip thinning video. And now, back to Erez for a final tip and a short summary.
If you don't have time for theory, you could simply use the speed doctor. our speeds and feeds calculator, which does all the hard work for you. You set the radial depths of cut and the axial depths of cut. Then you tell the system if it's a straight cutter, a ball nose, or a chamfer cutter. Next, you can tell it to calculate the chip load automatically, or you can set the chip load manually according to what you think is best. And the system will give you the feed per tooth calculated based on all these factors. In an upcoming video, I will dive deep into all the options of the Speed Doctor. Be sure to subscribe and follow so you don't miss that video as it goes out. In the meantime, I will leave a link to the Speed Doctor in the description below. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I answer each question personally. Have a great day and see you in the next video. Bye!